I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. It's too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. Too easy. It's too easy. I've been there, done it, seen it. Boy, all that like Keenan. Still got crack, they fiendin'. Flow still hot like Phoenix. Shine so bright, I'm gleaming. This off top, I'm tweaking. Fresh out the rat like Neiman. And I'm still tryna fight my demons. Cause we all gotta act like Tina. That's why I gotta ride with the Nina. Outside, it's a war going on. Maybe put my hands on my head like the Macarena. They want you walking on board like Kima. And give an F to you like John Cena. Putting blood on the brand new Beamer. Tryna earn they stripes like Adidas. You get cold when you ride with the heater. It'll turn you to a dog like a Keeta. And expose to a cat like a cheetah. They smoke my partner like reefer. Dímelo porque o no entiendo. Mi gente must really need Jesus. They shed real blood. I never seen the crypt and I believe it. It's too easy. Too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy.
Welcome in. Happy Tuesday to everybody. Hopefully you guys had a good weekend. There's some interesting football games going on this weekend. We had some good college basketball. We got good college basketball tonight, Tuesday. Big slate. This weekend, Saturday is loaded for college basketball. There's really, really, really good games. There's 6 or 7 like highly ranked matchups. Really, really good games this Saturday. Stephanie, what's up? So looking forward to that. Saturday should be fun. We're going to go through the college basketball slate tonight. We'll talk a little bit about the football games as well. If you have any questions, anything you can ask. I think that the Ravens should have won that football game. I think that the Niners, like the best team, just won out in the end. The Lions, I mean, it sucks for Lions fans, but the better team won in the end. They shouldn't have. I mean, it's tough. Like you can't blow a lead like that. They may never get back there. So that was unfortunate for the Lions fans. But they did get a good news today, keeping Ben Johnson as OC. I think that's really, really critical for them. That's a really big factor. So that's good for the Lions fans for their outlook next season. But it just really feels like they missed an opportunity this year because, I mean, they were relatively healthy. I mean, offensively, they weren't really missing any key guys. Defensively, their defense isn't great, but they weren't really missing any key guys. Like, they ran pretty pure to get to where they were relatively healthy. And it's just really tough to like expect to do that again next year. So that was unfortunate for the Lions, but the better team won. KC, I told you guys last week, Baltimore is the better team than KC, but sometimes, the better team doesn't always win. And Patrick Mahomes did enough that they ended up, winning the game. But if it comes down to it, I mean, Baltimore outgained KC yards per play. And what it all came down to was Kansas City got 3 turnovers and Baltimore got 0. I mean, if you look at it, it was a 7-point game. Baltimore had a strip sack fumble on their own side of the field, an end zone interception, and a fumble going into the end zone. That was literally the difference of the game. But overall, I think for the majority, if you look at the majority of the game, I actually think Baltimore played better. After that first quarter, they shut Kansas City down. Like offensively, like their defense played exceptional. To the question in the chat, I would not put it all on Lamar. I'm not saying that he played a great game or anything, but I don't think he played his best game. But it's not his fault that Zay Flowers, the taunting call on Zay Flowers changed the game because they most likely wouldn't. He wouldn't. It's unlikely he would have fumbled going into the end zone if he didn't get that taunting penalty because that backed him up 15 yards. Like I just doubt that happened. So that taunting penalty on Zay Flowers changed the entire game. The interception was a horrible throw, no doubts about it. But no, I don't put it on him. And they played well enough. Like it just came down to Casey getting the turnovers, and sometimes that happens in football games. crazy because Kelsey taunts the whole game. Yeah. Look, it was bad, spinning the ball on him and all that stuff, but I don't care one way or the other, but I'm never gonna be one that you should call taunting because, like you just said, like it's not even just Kelsey. Guys taunt after technically they taunt after every single play. And we're talking about modern day gladiators in the end zone, like like in battle, literally. And I don't think there should ever be a taunting call. So that was unfortunate. But for the Super Bowl, early lean for me. I'm gonna be going KC. It's Patrick Mahomes. I get the revenge factor of San Fran, but I mean he's the best. He's the best quarterback of all time, and I don't see the Niners have gotten lucky 2 games in a row, and I don't think that they can get lucky 3 times in a row. So I'm gonna be going KC. I think if you want to bet KC, you could just bet Mahomes MVP because it's plus money, and KC's moved. They opened up as like 2.5 point dogs, and they got hammered down instantly. So I think Mahomes MVP is probably my favorite bet. But I've seen a lot of people on San Fran, shockingly. I don't know. I'm curious. If you're in the chat, let me know if you like San Fran or KC for the Super Bowl. I think it has to be I think it has to be KC. Do you think T Swift Kelsey thing is staged? No, they seem like they look like a high school couple after that game. They seem to be into each other. I don't understand. I don't understand why people get so mad about the Taylor Swift thing. It doesn't bother me in the slightest. I don't. It's no different than them showing the crowd. I mean, she doesn't do anything. I've picked against Mahomes' last 2 games. Yeah, I mean, I think Baltimore was the right side of that game. It just didn't work out that way. Thank you about Taylor Swift. Yeah, Stephanie. I mean, what? Why do people get mad about this? I'm actually Stephanie. I've gotten to the point I am rooting. I want them to show her more because these people get mad about. There's no reason to get mad about this. Yeah, she's not asking for anything. She just goes to the game and watches her boyfriend play like any of us would. And then they show her on TV and people get mad about it. They show the crowd on TV. What is it? She's not doing anything when they show it. She's just sitting there watching the game. Why why do people get mad about the dumbest stuff? I hate people. And then it's like everyone on Twitter is like mad about it. So I'm like at the point like, I hope she goes to the Super Bowl and, like, it's just it's actually funny because people get mad. I want these people to get mad now. The average NFL fan just yeah, I guess. It's just it comes off, like, weird to me that, like, that they would, you know, it comes off weird to me that they get mad about it. Jason Kelsey being a total drunk jock around her is funny. Yeah. So Mitchell, I actually think Jason seems like the type of guy. I actually think he did that like purposely because like he knew like everyone complains about seeing Taylor. So he's like, I'm just gonna act completely insane. And then like people will talk about that instead of them showing Taylor. I actually think he kind of did that on purpose. Craziest category prop you bet on? I can't remember in the past. I'm trying to think, like the craziest one. One of my favorite Super Bowl bets. I just bet it every year. I think it's hit maybe 3 of the last 6 or 3 of the last 5. I love to bet it. I always bet missed extra point. I love to bet that in the Super Bowl. You can normally get it. It's like plus 120 every year. I love to bet missed extra point, especially now that they moved the kickback. Um, sometimes you get those missed extra points. I like to bet that. Gatorade color, I would never bet that unless I had inside information. I would never bet that unless I had inside info. Travis and I will actually be in Vegas for the Super Bowl. We're not going to the game, but I do know someone on the inside that's going to be working at the Super Bowl. So I'll try and get some inside info, and I'll post it in the Discord if I can get anything. But I don't get off my plane. I don't land until like 3 hours before the game, so I'm gonna be scrambling around. But I'll try and get some insider info. We need to find someone that's like working the halftime show and figure out what song is coming, and we can bet on that. But I'll reach out to the people I know that are on the inside, and we'll see if we can get some insider information. But the books are on top of that though. Like if it gets leaked what Gatorade color it is, like they will pull that and you won't be able to bet on it. So you got to be quick about it. But yeah, I think overall for me, um, I'm just gonna go KC. End of the day, I think again though, I think San Fran top to bottom is a better team than KC, just like Baltimore was a better team. But the better team doesn't always win. I think Philly was better than KC last year, and KC won. If it's a one-game sample, I'll take the better quarterback, which is obviously Patrick Mahomes. And yeah, that's just how I'm playing it. I think that I do think San Fran matches up well, given what they can do on offense, to combat the Kansas City defense, because if you look at Casey's defense, they're a really good team. They're great defensively. It's the best defense that Mahomes has probably ever had. But how you need to attack them is running the football, which much has been made about Baltimore not running the football. This whole week since few days since the game, much has been made about that. San Fran will run the ball, but I think if you look at just one game sample size, Casey, better quarterback, better coach, more experience, winning experience. I'll go with them. But should be a good game. Should be a close game. Should come down to the end, which is always fun. I've done really well like on Super Bowl props the last few years, so I'll have like a full card up. I'll post it before I fly to Vegas, so it'll be out like Thursday, Friday, Saturday before the game. But I'll have a full card out with props and all that good stuff. But all right, let's dive into college tonight. There's some good games, like I said. I've taken 5 or 6 bets. Most of them I took last night, and the lines moved. But there's still some spots I like today. So let's start off here with South Carolina, Tennessee. This is a really fun game in the SEC. Tennessee, I love this Tennessee team. So here's how I'm going to play futures for March Madness, because I've had a couple people reach out to me after we hit our futures last year. This is how I'm playing it. Right now, there's 4 teams I'm going to take futures on. And I might add, we're getting to February, so over the next 3 weeks, I might add 1 or 2 teams, but it's important to get your teams in and lock in these good numbers, because once you get to the tournament, it's really easy to hedge futures, especially if your teams get favorable brackets. Because, if I have a big number on, say, Tennessee, right? Say I get Tennessee at 18-1, right? And then the tournament comes and they're down to 8-1. Obviously I got great odds on that, but if they're a number 1 or let's say they're like a 2 seed in a favorable region, it's really easy for me to bet one of those other 2 teams, because if they're the 2 seed, they're going to be highly favored along with the 1 seed to get out of that region and make the Final Four. So it's going to be really easy to hedge that 18-1 ticket once you get into the tournament and you can see the bracket and the teams that they're facing against. And, once they get into the bracket, they're going to be a high seed. So it's going to be really easy to hedge getting out of that region. So I want to lock in a few teams here. So I've already given out Creighton. You can get Creighton at better odds now. So Creighton 45-1 right now. You can get them at. I'm going to have a futures on them. My biggest future is going to be on this Tennessee team. Love this Tennessee team. They remind me of a few years ago. Historically, I like to fade Tennessee in the tournament under Rick Barnes. Rick Barnes has never had success in the NCAA tournament, getting, and as far as like going like on a really deep run and winning it. But this is a different Tennessee team. I wrote it in my article today. Historically, these Tennessee teams are really, really good on defense, and then they struggle a little bit offensively. 2 years ago, they were a decently high seed, and they had a top 5 defense per KenPom, but they had offense was outside the top 80 in the country. So that doesn't fit the metrics that you need to win the NCAA tournament. So we were off Tennessee then. Last year, we were off Tennessee because their starting point guard was out going into the tournament, but even still, they had a top 10 defense per KenPom. Offense was outside the top 40, I think. So again, didn't really fit the metrics that you want for a team to go on a winning run. This year, they have a different team. They brought in Dalton Connect, some other pieces. Offensively, they're much better than they've ever been under Rick Barnes. They are once again a top 10 defensive team, but they're 19th right now in offense on KenPom. So that is a big factor for me, the fact that they're so much better offensively this year than they've ever been in the past. And I really like how this team sets up. So my biggest future right now is going to be on Tennessee. You can get them at 16-1 or 18-1, depending on your book. FanDuel, I think, has the worst odds, so don't look there. Look at some of the other books. I think DraftKings has 16-1, but if you look around, you should be able to find an 18-1. So Tennessee's my biggest futures bet right now. And then I have Creighton at 45-1. I like New Mexico. You can grab them at like 50, and then St. John's at 75-1. So those are my 4 teams right now, and we might add 1 or 2 over the next month. I would maybe add North Carolina, but I just don't love the odds that you're getting them at. So I'll probably wait and see on that. But anyways, to get back on track here, I just had some people ask about that, so I wanted to talk about it. Tennessee, Creighton, St. John's, New Mexico, those are the teams I've taken futures on right now. Tennessee, South Carolina tonight. Love this Tennessee team. Love them at home. South Carolina's been on a hot streak here. They obviously beat Kentucky straight up a few games ago. But Tennessee, I mean, they've been just beating the doors off people at home. I mean, they've been destroying teams at home. They're putting up crazy points at home. They put up 90 on Alabama a few games ago. They've put up over 80 in their last 3 home games in conference. So I like Tennessee tonight, but I'm not going to lay the 14. I'm going to either bet the over. So if you're in the I don't know where I post this at, but I took the over on this game at 135.5. It looks like it's 137 on DraftKings apparently, which I would shop this line around. I bet you can. You might still be able to find 135.5, and if not, at the worst, you can get a 136.5. I like the over in this game. It's easier for the home team to dictate the pace of the game. Tennessee's really fast paced. South Carolina's slow paced. Given that South Carolina is 14-point underdogs here, you would assume they're going to have to speed up and play into Tennessee's game to try and win the game because they're most likely going to be losing. So I like the over on this game. And then in my article, I wrote up Tennessee's team total over 75.5. Like I said, they've scored over 80 in their last 3 home games. They've been just destroying teams, and I see no reason to hop off that wagon right now. So my favorite play in this game, I like the over, and then I like Tennessee team total over, but I do like Tennessee to win the game. I'll just bet on the points being scored as opposed to those 14 points. Next game, Illinois, Ohio State. I actually think Ohio State wins this game at home. And if Ohio State doesn't win this game, then Chris Holtmann should be fired. I already think he should be fired because they haven't won a road game since like 2022. And if you guys are in the Discord, you know we've been fading Ohio State on the road the last couple games that they've played, and it has worked out really, really well for us. I'm not betting the game, Stephanie, but I think Ohio State will win. But I'm not betting on the game. If you guys remember on Saturday, my biggest bet of the entire season, I told you guys on Friday, Northwestern against Ohio State. And Saturday came, and everybody on Twitter, all these Twitter handicappers were on Ohio State. I couldn't believe the amount of people that were giving out Ohio State on Saturday. The team, and the popular thing that I saw of why people were giving out Ohio State was, oh, they're due for positive shooting regression on the road. This team has been bad on the road for 2. This is not a 5. They're citing this 5-game sample from this season and saying they're going to shoot better on the road. It's not a 5-game sample. They've been bad on the road for multiple years. They've lost their last 16 road games in a row under Chris Holtmann. They're horrible on the road. So I could not believe how many people were on Ohio State. And the fact that everyone was on Ohio State, that made me like I liked Northwestern even more. So yeah, I'm not betting on this game. I do think Ohio State wins at home though. Illinois has been a wagon this year. But Ohio State, they're not going to lose every game. They're going to have to win a game at some point here. I would assume they're not going to win one on the road, which we know. So if they're going to get a win, it's going to come at home. I understand why they're favored here. And if they don't win this game, then Chris Holman should be fired flat out. He already should be fired, but I don't see how he keeps a job if they're not even winning at home. Like it's really, really hard to win on the road in the Big Ten. So I don't see if they can't even win their home games, this guy should be fired. But not betting on the game. I think Ohio State wins though. Dayton, George Washington, not betting this. Too big of a spread. Yeah, just pass overall on this for me. Dayton's really good, one of the best mid majors in the country, but pass there. Pass on the Syracuse BC game. Don't have anything there. I guess you could look to the under maybe, but don't love anything. VCU's on a little hot streak here. St. Bonaventure's really good at home. I would lean Bonnies in this game. Not gonna bet it, but you could use the Bonnies in like a money line parlay. I think maybe Iowa, Indiana. So this is an interesting game. Iowa is road favored here over Indiana. I think it opened as like a pick 'em, or it might have opened some places Indiana -1, and it's moved to Iowa -2. Indiana is the public side here, despite that line movement, which I don't like. And I think Indiana Ware was out for them last game. I don't think he's going to play tonight either. So I'm not sure if I'm going to bet this game, but if I did, I would be on the Iowa side. Indiana, like I just told you, it's really hard to win on the road in the Big Ten, but Indiana is horrible. And if Ware is out for them again, I don't know if they can keep pace like offensively with Iowa. So I'm probably not going to bet anything here. If I did, I would lean towards Iowa. Don't hate the over 160. There should be a lot of points scored here. But I'm just no reason for me to trust Indiana. So I'll pass there. I've seen a lot of people on Indiana today, but pass. Pass for me. Iowa or pass. UNC, Georgia Tech. People are going to get mad about this, but I like Georgia Tech tonight. I bet them at +9.5 earlier. Posted that in the Discord. It's moved to 8.5 everywhere. I don't think there's a 9.5 out there anymore. It's scary. UNC has been rolling through teams, so it's definitely scary to go against them. But and they kind of remind me of Miami last year, where like we were trying to fade them and fade them and fade them, and then they just kept winning games. But I'll go Georgia Tech at home here. Georgia Tech has shown they're a really young team. They can get up for big games, though. They beat Duke earlier this season, and they've played Duke close both times they've played. North Carolina, maybe a little bit of a look ahead here because they played Duke, North Carolina on Saturday. So maybe, they're on the road. Georgia Tech, like their mind is on playing Duke this weekend, and I'm not saying Georgia Tech will win the game, but maybe they can keep it close enough to cover that 9.5. So I lean Georgia Tech here. And I like that the fact that the lines moved towards Georgia Tech, but they're only getting 15% of the bets. So I do think Georgia Tech is the sharp side of this game, and that's a pretty big spread. I'll take the home team. Tech and TCU is fun. I don't really have a preference here. TCU is really good at home, but Tech is a good team too. I probably won't bet on this game. Good game to watch, though. Marquette, Villanova. Love Villanova tonight. You guys know, we've been riding some of these home teams over the last few weeks. Villanova is like 11-9, but they're not an 11-9 team. I don't know if it's the coach or what, but Villanova is a good team. They have a lot of experience. Ken Pom likes them more than what their record shows, and they're at home here against Marquette. Marquette's like banged up. Like Cam Jones didn't play much over the weekend for Marquette, so I don't know. He only played like 5 minutes. I don't know if he's going to play more tonight. But there's a chance that he doesn't. There's a chance he only plays, limited minutes again. So I'll definitely back the home team here. Villanova for me tonight is a good look. Don't have much in some of these smaller games. I mean, Ohio should destroy Buffalo. Buffalo's horrible, but I mean that's a pretty big spread. 15. It's getting a little crazy. Kent State. I feel like usually I would be on Kent State here, bounce back spot after a tough loss, but I can't do it. I can't do an 8-point spread with this Kent State team. They're just not that good. And you guys know I was all over Kent last year. Like we made so much money late season betting on Kent State, but they're just not good. They're not as good this year. So pass for me. I'm not betting it, but would lead Kansas State in this game. Oklahoma, I've told you guys, I don't think Oklahoma's that good. They weren't supposed to be good coming in the year. They had a little hot start, but I don't think Oklahoma's that good. Kansas State is, I mean, at home, yeah, I would take Kansas State. So I'm not betting the game, but lean Kansas State in that one. I'm fine selling Oklahoma. I know they've been losing recently, but I just don't think they're that good. So lean Kansas State. Really fun game here. Rivalry, Mississippi State, Ole Miss. At Ole Miss. Ole Miss is undefeated at home this year. Mississippi State is not good on the road, yet that line moved, complete line flip. Ole Miss opened -2. It's moved to Mississippi State -1, despite Ole Miss being undefeated at home and the entire public being on Ole Miss. So, yeah, Mississippi State, I'm probably going to add this to my card for sure. This is looking like we need to bet this. Because someone explain this to me. Explain Ole Miss opening as a 2-point favorite, which, first of all, Mississippi State has been terrible on the road, and Ole Miss is 12-0 at home or whatever. So this should have been 4, 5, 6 points anyways, and it opened at -2, which was already short. And then now it's like flipped. Yeah. We're gonna have to add Mississippi State here. Mississippi State will get added to my card. NC State Miami is a fun game. Not gonna bet it. I can't decide on that one. If anyone has a lean on that game, let me know in the chat. But that's gonna be a good game. SDSU CSU, love CSU tonight. CSU was ranked inside the top 25 at one point. They start off the year really, really good, and they have been getting whomped the last few games. They need a big win. They're good at home. Mountain West Conference is insane. These teams go crazy in the Mountain West against each other. Like really, really fun conference to watch. But CSU need a win. Absolutely have to have a win here. This would be a big signature win for them over SDSU. Give me the Rams tonight. Love Colorado State tonight at home. Like Utah State as well at home, but I'm not going to lay 14 or 13. No reason to. So I think that there's several teams you could parlay together here. On tonight, Wyoming, Air Force, Wyoming, I don't think has won a game on the road yet this season. Air Force is not good. Yeah, we're going to try, Mitchell. We're going to try. Air Force is not good, but Wyoming is not good on the road. So I'm not going to bet this game specifically, but it would have to be Air Force if you're going to pick a side because they quite literally, Wyoming has not won a road game. So there's just no way I would back that. Michigan State is a parlay piece for me. So I know they're big, number here, -800, but that's a team you could look to pair up with CSU, Kansas State, Villanova, Iowa, like whoever you want to pair someone up with. Michigan State at home. Obviously, we know Doug McDaniel on the road for Michigan. Michigan's not good anyways. Michigan State for me, parlay piece at -800. Not going to lay that big spread, but yeah, I do like Michigan State, and you could just look to pair them with one of these other teams I talked about, and that's about it. Seton Hall should beat DePaul, but I just still don't know if Richmond's playing. No reason for me to bet on it, and I don't have anything in these last two games here. So yeah, fun slate tonight. A lot of good spots. Favorite spot for me is between Villanova and CSU probably. But this Mississippi State is interesting to me. I'm going to see these people. I have people messaging me, Sandy, T-Mac, all you guys trying to tell me that it's the 49ers this next weekend, and it's not. I'm sorry to tell you. Is anyone, if you're in the chat right now, is anyone in the chat on the 49ers in the Super Bowl? I need to know right now. Or are we on the Chiefs here? Do you think we'll see an active NBA trade deadline? There's always moves in the NBA, but I mean, we've already seen some pretty big ones. Siakam getting traded, RJ Barrett getting traded. I'm sure there's one I'm missing. Terry Rozier got traded. I mean, obviously Harden already got traded. That was earlier. So we've already seen some pretty big trades, but yeah, I'm sure there's always trades. Tim is on the Chiefs also. Tim, that's what I'm talking about. Thank you. I don't know how. And look, I'm not saying the Chiefs are going to win the game, but if we're putting a bet on the game, which obviously it's a Super Bowl, we're going to bet on the game. How are you betting against Mahomes? I don't think you can. Yeah, Stephanie, that was a big win for the Cavs. Huge. Yeah, Clippers look really, really good. So that was a big win. And I mean, Cavs are getting healthy. We'll see. We'll see if they can make a little run. I'm still mad, Stephanie, because I took my cousin and my mom to a Cavs playoff game last year against the Knicks and they lost. And not only did they lose, I put in a bet Donovan Mitchell to score 40 points to pay for the tickets, and he scored 39 points. So not only did they lose, I got that sting because the entire game I was like, oh well, even if they lose, at least I'm gonna get my money back because he's gonna score 40, and then he scored 39 points. So I'm still. It's been almost a year. I'm still upset about that. Let me see here. You can still get Mississippi State plus 1.5 on FanDuel or plus 1.5 on BetMGM. It looks like. And then Bet365 has +1. I think I remember that. Yeah, that was disgusting. Mitchell, you haven't decided? Oh, man. I mean, look, San Fran is better. Yes, they are. Top to bottom. But at the same time, San Fran's got really lucky to win their last 2 games. I know it doesn't mean anything, but I mean, if they come out and play like that again, I mean, they're not going to get lucky a third time. Do you think Cousins will get 45 million? Probably. But I think that was a fake report because correct me if I'm wrong. I'm going to look this up after this now that you said that because I saw that yesterday and I wanted to go look this up and I didn't. I don't even think that's going to happen because I swear Kirk Cousins came out and said like he's been paid well for so long, like he's willing to take like a pay cut to like get other guys on his team. I swear he said that. So I don't even think I think that was like a fake report. I don't even think he wants 45 million. I swear he said that he would take less money. But maybe I just completely made that up. I have no idea. I got to go look. Mississippi State is still plus 1.5 on FanDuel. So if you're going to bet it, that is where I would bet it. I'm going to think about it. It looks like we need to add them in, but man, it's tough to go against a team that's undefeated at home though. It's so hard to win on the road in college basketball. But that I don't know, this line movement is just like in my opinion, like that spread is short anyways, like 2 points was short anyways, and the fact that Mississippi State is getting all this money and the line is arguably moving against them. I don't know. Mississippi State might have to be a play. Stephanie, I said on I think it was December 18th on this stream that Bill Belichick's next team was going to be the Giants, and I'm going to stick with that. So he hasn't signed with a team yet. I still think he's going to end up on the New York Giants. That's my prediction. It's my prediction. But then I saw like if he takes a year off, like Fox wanted to bring him in to like do TV stuff with Gronk and stuff. I don't think Bill would be very good on TV. Maybe I'm wrong, but he just seems kind of boring, like when he talks. But maybe he would be different on television. I'm not sure. He has no personality. Yeah, like I don't know if I would want to listen to him. I don't really listen to those people anyways. I just turn the game on when the game comes on. I don't really normally watch stuff like that, but I don't know if he would be good at that. Honestly. He doesn't speak. Yeah, he'd suck like I don't know. He sounds weird when he talks anyways. Oh yeah, Mitchell, we didn't talk about Arthur Smith to the Steelers. It's just insane. What are they doing? Stephanie, aren't you a Steelers fan? What is going on over there? They went from They went from like horrible to like really bad. I don't what I don't understand that. Why did they hire him? I'm now granted, he did good in Tennessee as a OC. That's how he got hired for the Falcons job. But I mean, why would you want him after what just happened in Atlanta? Like Mitchell, you can't. You're not telling me that you're gonna have Arthur Smith and George Pickens on the same sideline. George Pickens is gonna like kill that guy. Like George Pickens might just like attack him in a middle of a game next year. I would like I don't understand that. That's horrible. So bad. Who else? Who else? Pickens be out there for week 3. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't want Pickens on the same sideline as Arthur Smith. He might just like attack him or something. Who else got hired? Oh yeah, we talked about Lions. Keeping Ben Johnson's huge, and they got a really good schedule next year. They don't play like they don't play outdoors much, which obviously we know is good for golf. Kellen Moore to Philly. Yeah, people hate on that. I mean, you can't be any worse than Brian Johnson. So I don't know how people could be mad about Philly getting Kellen Moore. They got Kellen Moore and Vic Fangio, obviously huge improvements for the Eagles, so that's good. The Browns got Ken Dorsey, which I think is fine. I still don't think Ken Dorsey's going to call plays. Kevin Stefanski will, but the Bills' offense graded out well when Ken Dorsey was in there. And also, Stephon Diggs was horrible after Ken Dorsey left. So I don't know. Maybe Joe Brady hates Stephon Diggs. Chargers OC job is a good spot. Yeah. Seattle coach. I think Seattle's going to get Mike McDonald from Baltimore. That was Michigan's DC. That's my prediction there. I have no idea who Washington's going to get for their coach because I think that they had penciled in Ben Johnson and now he's staying. So I have actually no idea who Washington will get as their coach. Overall, that about does it. Like I said, I have bets posted in the Discord. If I'm going to take Mississippi State, I'll post it in the Discord. Pete Carroll's done. I don't know. I mean, he didn't sound like he was. He sounded like he wanted to coach, but I don't know. Nobody got him. Maybe he'll take a year off or something and somebody will call him. I don't know. But if I take Mississippi State, I'll post it in the Discord. Ben Johnson kind of risky staying. I don't think so because they're not going to suck on offense. So it'll just be the same thing next year. I think that he clearly thinks that like some better jobs. I agree. Strike while the iron's hot. I agree with that. But he clearly thinks that some better jobs will be open. And honestly, I can't blame him because Washington stinks and Seattle is okay, but I mean, they don't have a quarterback and they're kind of in that quarterback purgatory where they have Geno Smith, but I don't know. I don't blame him for not taking one of those jobs. And he clearly thinks that like he's going to get a big deal from a big team next year, which the Lions are still going to be good on offense. So people will still want them, I think. I'm ready for baseball, Stephanie. We did really, really good betting on baseball last year. And I'm actually excited to bet on it again. So, yeah, I'm ready for baseball. I can't wait. It's coming up soon. We're in a good spot now because we have Super Bowl. And after the Super Bowl is when conference play really ratchets up for college basketball, and it's right into the conference tournaments and the NCAA tournament. And then after that, it's, into baseball. NBA late season is when I ratchet up betting more, especially as we head to the playoffs. So, yeah, it's better to bet on, I feel like, later season. But thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate it. I'll be live tomorrow, same time, 3 p.m. Hopefully we have a good night tonight so we can recap that tomorrow. Good luck with your bets and see you guys on Wednesday.